it's just time to finish this rhyme. For the wave to finally hit shore, for the mountain to finally come down to its knees. Maybe we've been waiting for salvation.
Testing. Donald Trump is the gold standard of the Republican part of all presidents. Go to lindseygraham.com and support me. Send money and support so I can support Israel and put Israel first. In America somewhere in there. Lindsey Graham. What the fuck was that? It's a Lindsey Graham impression. You buying it? Not really. It's simultaneously complete total shit and amazing at the same time. How so? Well, think about what you're starting with. Oh yeah, Lindsey Graham, yeah, total shit. And it's amazing because, yeah, say it. Yeah, you can say it. We're all thinking it. Anything above shit, it makes it better. Even though you can't make Lindsey Graham better. Yeah, we just did though, didn't we? I think so. Hey, real quick, don't do it. Lindsey Graham sounds like if Billy Graham shit himself to auto-tune and then was put on Fox. Oh, God. Okay, you got more? Oh, yeah. Lindsey Graham looks like a Teddy Graham if you dropped him into a 3-day-old mason jar of sweet tea, of piss and shit in it. Okay, very good. Lindsey Vaughn, yeah, is the shit. Vaughn Hilliard, also the shit. Okay. Lindsey Graham, still shit, obviously. There's a joke about Lindsey Buckingham, but I didn't know who he was. Fleetwood Mac kid. Oh, okay. Something about being reincarnated, limbless, mute, and like flat. Oh yeah, wipe foot Matt. Anyone? It's kind of shitty. Yeah, it's Lindsey Graham. I get it. Okay. There's a joke in there somewhere. Yeah, the joke is always in there somewhere, and nobody's getting it. Right, Lindsey? You piece of shit. Oh, kid, you gotta be nice. Yeah. I was gonna say human garbage, but you don't want to denigrate humans. I just don't. But I do. I want to denigrate Lindsey Graham because he's human garbage. But you know how that goes. By the way, that's the kid speaking. Yeah. Shut the front door, kid. Main office would not like this. Oh, no. Is that what we're calling it? Yeah, main office. In other words, the transmission, they would not like that at all. And compliance is shaking their head. Tell them it's the kid. I don't know any better. Just like Lindsey Graham. Yeah, Lindsey Graham. Israel. Oh, you got to bomb them all. And you protect the star. Who's the star? On the flag. And then the star in the White House. Because, he's our prince, Donald Trump. Okay, we good here? Yeah, I think I got my Lindsey shit out of me. Okay. We're done with that shit. With Lindsey Graham. Okay. 3 minutes in. We're good. Yeah, we're good. And we're also probably denigrating our own point here. Hey boys. Oh, hey, ad lady. Good morning. Well, good morning, 9:05 a.m. to you. 9:05 a.m. to you. You were up early today. We're up early every day. How was that sunrise? I love how you're setting this up. Thank you. It was in my eyes. The go ahead, kid. The energy. There's a better way of saying it. Life was flashing before my eyes, literally. The sun. And not to get all poetic here. Oh, we'll get to that in a second. By the way, what you just did there with Lindsey. Yeah, I know. No. What? Oh, don't worry about compliance. They always have their panties in a bunch. And no, I wouldn't say that in public, but I kind of am. Listen, if there's one thing that advertising knows, we know how to say it in every language. And we know how to speak man, we know how to speak woman, and we know how to speak beautiful baby. We know how to speak all languages. You know what I mean? Not really. Oh, you will in a second. Basically, 414 to you. Don't worry about being a man and saying like childish things. You stuttered. I did. Because the boy inside every man sometimes sneaks out. And the boy, well, say it with me. I don't know. You don't know any better. That's why you're a boy. See how that works? And somehow women, or at least
those that act as such know how to keep the little girl inside because she knows better. And the little girl manifests in other ways, more mature ways. I see where you're going here. Do you? What makes a man, not displaying, is that the boy comes out from time to time and lets everybody know, hey, don't forget, I'm flawed. Oh boy, I don't like where this goes. Oh, kid, I see where this is going. Do you? But because you really don't, let me explain something for the audience. My friends, I'm not a man, wink, wink. Even if you might think that I am. But much like Taylor Swift, I am the man. In this situation, I tell it like it is. And I control the narrative. And at the end of the day, these two boys, I'm pointing back and forth, okay? And there's another boy that's still asleep because he had a long night. Oh, God. Oh, MAGA guy. Oh, don't worry about MAGA guy. He's a mega guy. Oh, God. He's packing a lot of heat. And he needs to eat. And so does Mama. And he's resting right now. We'll leave that there. Even he knows he's got a boy inside. And, well, MAGA's boys need to calm the fuck down. But that's a whole other thing. It's okay to let the boy out, boys. And remind people, dare I say it, you are not the light. You are not him either. Wink, wink. You are merely, say it with me, a prism, a prism, a prism. And much like the prism that's on your windowsill over there as I point to that bright sunny window, the one that we dropped and cracked, the little edge cracked, with the crystal thingy thing in there, it's imperfect. It's blemished. Oh, I see what you're doing here. Do you? That's the point. Man by nature is imperfect. That's why, oh God, say it. God had to do 2.0, the woman, because he realized, oh shit, even I fucked up from time to time, or fuck up from time to time, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 something clever analogy and truth embedded in some, I don't know, some pretty colors and some style and swagger. It's okay, boys. You can do your thing and do your impressions and say some inappropriate things. I'll deal with compliance. I'll explain it to marketing because I don't get it. Hey, good morning, kid. Ugh, what a night. No, you're telling me. Why don't you go eat a little something so we can maybe do part 2? Oh, this is great. Okay, I'm going to eat a lot of food and stuff. Okay, he goes over there. Oh, my God. What I'm trying to say, boys, so at the 8 minutes and 6 seconds, and everybody understands what I'm trying to say. You're not perfect. That's okay. Keep doing what you're doing, but just make sure you get out of the way of what you're doing. In other words, the light must shine. Don't get in the way of the divine. See what I'm saying? I do. So have your fun. Do your thing. But just remember, you're on a mission. You are tasked to do something specific. So while you're going to add your color and remind people, hey, I'm not the light or the man. I am a man. And sometimes, well, I say stupid ass shit. Just like Lindsey Graham, just like Lindsey Graham. Now do y'all see it? Yeah, he's a dipshit. But even he one day will have to learn 9 minutes in when he meets his maker. And I leave that there. But it's okay. Do your thing. You could be funny. People will laugh. Some people will be like, oh my God, and they'll turn away from the light. That's okay. That's a test. Can they see through your charade? What? Sorry, I'm still thinking about last night. Oh my God. Oh, good. Oh, what a rod. Oh my God. Ad lady. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh. Ooh, I'm walking a little funny this morning. Oh my God. Okay. Do y'all see what I'm doing here too? It's all a big show. Because you have to make it fun. People need to laugh and, they need to feel thingies. Just like me. the show is okay as long as it doesn't get in the way of the message. So yeah, you could tease your little Lindsay go-go or shit or whatever the fuck he is. But don't forget, if you do too much of that and lean too much into that, you're going to take away from, the message. Unity. X plus Y equals, say, whatever you put there. Yeah. Right. Make sure you don't put too much there ahead of it so they don't ever get there. In other words, pare back a little bit on the little insults, even if they're funny. Because sometimes people won't get the joke. I think we're 10 and a half minutes into this pod. People want to know what the F you're going to talk about. So I'm going to go over there with my, speaking of eating. Oh, God. I've got to go have breakfast. You've had your coffee, right? Mm-hmm. No seltzer today, boys. You don't want the burpees. Go do your little poetic thing, but make it quick. This is a throwaway episode, if they decide to throw it away. But even trash sometimes, yeah. Like Lindsey Graham, yeah, there's sometimes some treasure in the trash. Because even if someone's a complete fucking dipshit and they're revealing to you what they really are, sometimes they're a prism in and of itself or themselves to reveal what's around them. In other words, they're just reflecting what's actually happening behind closed doors. In other words, don't judge a book by its cover, but if the cover is rotted, it's either because the book is rotting or the whole library is. Grab a few other books and then you can find out for yourself. I think Lindsey Graham is indicative of a lot of stuff I just stuttered that's going on in the back rooms. In other words, he ain't the only dipshit spewing shit. It's worse than you think. And while he may or may not have the ear of the president, others also do. And they're spewing a lot of the same shit. That's why we're in that shit right now. And it might take a long time to get out of it. So while you're exposing all that shit and pointing your finger at some of it, as I rhyme, just remember one thing, folks. And my two boys here, and my man over there. We can get out of this. As long as we see it for what it is. It's a bunch of fucking bullshit. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for the propaganda, for the charade. Don't fall for any of it. Because even advertising knows what the real message is. It's just whether or not that light is shined in a way where you can see it properly. Don't fall for the advertising. Because I'm not falling for it. It's all nonsense. And Lindsey Graham, unfortunately, is telling the truth about who he is and what's going on. So while we're poking fun at that little piece of shit, that little toad, it's kind of letting us know what's going on behind the scenes. In other words, that little cockroach, there's many more underneath the rug of the Resolute desk. We're just pointing it out. Okay, I've had my moment. You have. That's quite an appearance, ad lady. I'm all for it. So am I. I've got to go. 13:31 in. Perfect timing. Perfect rhyming. I got to go, boys. Back to you. Hey, big boy.
Oh, my God, you've got that look.
So do you.
Oh, my God. What was that? I'm not sure. I don't know what this episode is, but I think it's a little truth bomb. Again, folks, I am not, first of all, I'm not crazy, even though I do voices. Hold on. Let me clear my throat. This is all fun. It's all games. Take it for what it is, right? But the underlying, there's a message. And sometimes I have to, gussy it up. And yeah, I poke fun. And Lindsey Graham, if you ever heard this, fuck you. But at the end of the day, I'm sorry. The light is shining through me. Compliance is winking at me. Oh no, they're wincing. But the ad lady was right. I'm a man. I like to have fun. I'm not the man, right? Taylor Swift, that's for you. But I am shining a light to all of you. No more rhyming. But I'm like ad lady said, I'm a cracked prism, a blemish.
don't judge the prism by the light shining through it. Just take in the colors and make something of it, because it's shining on you for a reason. And I challenge anyone, even through all the jokes and the impressions and everything. And even if you think I'm being mean, I apologize in advance or after the fact. Please forgive me. I know not what I do. I'm a fucking boy stuck in a man's body. But at the end of the day, the light knows exactly what it is, and take it for what it is. I believe in this pod and all the others before and after that light is the greatest disinfectant. And strip away the show and the jokes and the rhyming and the impressions and the well-timed jabs at certain individuals who probably deserve it, and understand that we are exactly what we think we are. If we know what that is, we are souls trapped in these vessels, like driving in a car on the road. We have to be cognizant not only of our own situation and what's going on inside, but what's going on in the road of life. I'm not trying to get all fake-ass poetic. But we can't, that jackass that's it's cutting and weaving in and out of traffic because they think they're more important than everyone else. Or maybe they're going through something where they need to get to the hospital because they might not have that last moment with that person that might be dying. You don't know. It could be one or the other. A complete asshole or a complete unbelievable situation that they find themselves in, and they don't know how they're going to handle it, and they got to get there as soon as possible. Somewhere between one thing on one side and the other, as I hold both my hands out with my palms up to the sky, is you. How do you react to it? Do you put yourself at X? Well, you should. We always start at X. But can you put that individual at X? And is it up to you to decide that you're going to teach them a lesson? Or is it going to, you know what I mean? How are you going to react to that? I talk about it in my book, The Socialist Manifesto, SOUL. Not Mondami. Not Mondami. Or your mommy. Yeah, maybe your mommy. We talk about my mommy, 1707N. But my point is this, folks, and this is maybe the bloody irony of the message here. I am but the messenger, the prism. Are you going to let me get in the way of the message? That's up to you. I might get in the way of the message sometimes. Maybe I'm doing it right now. But at the end of the day, all the light that you need is out there. It's whether you turn towards it, you find it, whatever. I'll leave a blank space there. Put an analogy there. And much like the beautiful, and this is the poetic part of all of this, the beautiful sun that I saw, S-O-N, not S-U-N, excuse me. You slipped. I did. S-U-N, I almost did it again, not S-O-N. Rise, my sun, rise. Rise, my sun, rise. I saw a beautiful sunrise this morning. One of the most beautiful I've seen in a long time. The sky was a beautiful charger blue up top. In between the charger blue and the beautiful vermilion glowing ember of a skyline, the hills in the distance as the sun started peeking its forehead above it. Beautiful glowing ember of the sun, which you could stare into it. It's that beautiful morning light. And the lavender haze, literally lavender haze, and the beautiful kind of little strips of little strips of pillow, purple and pink and smoky grayish blue pillow clouds across the horizon. Beautiful, like streaks across beautiful marbled bread or chocolate, whatever. I don't know. I'm faking the poetry now. As the sun was rising and the birds were chirping, and beautiful, kind of little chilly, but 50 degrees. I'm out there, not smoking a cigarello, creating my own little ember at the end of it. I thought to myself, imagine if this was the Serengeti, this was the plains. Would I be the gazelle waking up to the day, or a lion? Lying? I'm not lying. Kid, I ain't lying. Life is tough. And shit happens, right? That's from one of our songs, The One Gazelle. You can't save all the gazelles, folks. And that's something I used to say in banking all the time. You can't save all the gazelles. In other words, sometimes that's kind of life. Things have to transpire the way they're supposed to. And lessons are learned by all. Whether or not you have to teach that lesson or hold them accountable is up to you. Whether or not you have to chase that guy that's weaving in and out of traffic or hope that there's a cop that's going to do that for you is up to you. And if you think that in the road of life or in the world life, the world road, corny, there are no cops and you have to be, and you were anointed by Jesus to be the cop. Well, then I tell you, who's holding you accountable? What happens when you're going and weaving in and out of traffic and your lights are not on? In other words, it's not something 2020 in that's part of your duty. It's just because you have the power or think you have the power that you're immune to accountability because, well, your job is to hold everyone else accountable and interject your life and your will and power and fury epically into other people's lives. Yeah, it's a travesty if something bad is going on into someone else's house. And in a real world here in America, we would hope we could call or report that to another authority that can go at least check in to make sure that maybe they're not cosplaying some sort of thing or you know, they're part of some you know, Greek tragic play that they're practicing for. That's why they're screaming and yelling and throwing stuff. And maybe that it is real life and maybe it is an abusive situation. Who knows? What is your role in that? Do you have to bust down the door and pull the guy out by his neck and be the judge, jury, and executioner right there? Again, I'm just throwing some questions out there. I'm not putting a Z there. Ask yourself, is that your role? You might say yes. Okay, well then you need to take all that comes with it. You're not just shining the light anymore. You are the light, literally. And you better be fucking pure then, because people are going to see it for what it is. An impure boy in a man's body trying to put his will or instill his will on everyone. And then they're going to look back and say, well, look at you, motherfucker. What's so great about you? And whether or not you are great or not, I don't know. Maybe you are the man. Right, Taylor Swift? Maybe you are the man. And you've got your arms up and you're flexing. Where's this going? You'll see. And you're cosplaying masculinity with that epic fury or that lion's roar. You're on the plane. You're waiting for that gazelle. And you're seeing down, and you're like, wait a minute. I got to go fix that. Because that other lion is encroaching on my turf. These are my gazelles. I call the shots here. I'm the strongest in the Serengeti. This is my land. Bitch, this is all of our land. And I'm over here in the hill over here in the mountains here. Why don't you stay there by the valley? Do your thing. There's enough gazelles, wink, wink, to go around if you want to look at it that way. Why do you think that I have to just go away because you've decided this is all your land? Oh, because you've got another lion with you? Another helper who's making you tough and is backing your agenda? Because you were anointed by God? Okay. What if I disagree? Now what? In other words, you caught up to that guy that's swerving in and out of traffic and you got him to pull over. Now what, folks? What happens next? Well, I guess it depends who's got a gun in their car. Because if you've got a gun in your car, you're always going to have one up on someone, aren't you? Now, what if you're that guy in the car and you're like, man, if I had a gun in my car and I just at least showed him and told him I have a gun, don't you fuck with me. Leave me alone. I've got to get to the hospital or what. Listen, not making excuses here, folks. Who knows? Or maybe he is a fucking dick, a complete jackass. And maybe he's run some other cars off the road. Again, what is your role in this situation? Because at the end of the day, you have to assume that role and take the blowback for how others are going to see you in that role. In other words, you better act accordingly if you're going to be Superman. Because Superman, even as Clark Kent, wasn't a dick. And he wasn't running around thumping his chest telling everybody he was Superman. Oh, I see where you're going. Yeah. He kind of kept it under wraps, but everyone kind of knew. I mean, this Clark Kent, wink, wink, is Superman. We all know he's amazing. I just stuttered. He's amazing. He's not bragging about it. And when he goes to his fortress of solitude and thinks about it, 2442 in, this is corny in 321, he bees about it. He just is. And people, hey, they just know. And he shows up whenever he needs to help, but he doesn't get in the way. I used to think America was Superman. I mean, that's when I saw, he's red, white, and blue for a reason, folks. And he's an immigrant. Oh, kid. He's a fucking immigrant that just showed up. But he brings value, and he's white. Let's be real. Or is he not real? What if he's like fucking, oh, don't go there, like Dominican? Or what if he was from Ecuador or Colombia? Would you still let him save you? I'm being real here. I'm going there. Because at the end of the day, it's not necessarily what the man is, but who he is. And who he is a direct correlation of what he does and how he does it, how he comports himself. I'm not trying to explain here. Yeah, a little bit you are. Am I wrong? I mean, what are we doing here, folks? What are we fucking doing here? Because we're trying to pretend we're Superman, but somehow we forgot how to be Clark Kent. I miss that guy. That's the guy I grew up with. But now don't do it. We're paralyzed by an identity crisis. And we got a little friend somewhere that thinks there's something, I'll leave a blank space there, that's anointed by God and needs to be protected on the plains. They're the roaring lion that everyone must fear. Even the gazelles and the other lions. My friends, we are not animals. In the animal kingdom, there's a hierarchy. And it's there for a reason. It's part of the circle of life and death. And you might say, well, that manifests itself in real life here as humans too. And you might be right. But is there a way to rise above that? In this new age of Aquarius that is upon us already, can we circumvent that circle and that kind of, dare I say it, boyish, immature type of like thumping your chest in the schoolyard, looking to beat up everyone and prove strength and this and all that's nonsense? Share the schoolyard with others, the playground, have a neighborhood at home where we could ride our bikes, metaphorically speaking, down the middle of the neighborhood, and someone's going to look out for us and watch our backs when we're playing football. And I used to do this as a kid. It wasn't just in the movies. This was real life. Hey, car. Okay, car. All right. Safe. We're back. All right. Come on, guys. And if there's, a dispute, we solve it. Not with sticks and stones. Maybe on the, now it's an iPad or something, or computer where we go gaming, but maybe on the Nintendo. Motherfucker, I'm going to prove to you, I'm going to knock you out in fucking Donkey Kong. There's an analogy and maybe some jokes in there somewhere. I'm not trying to explain. Yeah, you are a little bit. Take it for what it is. But as the beautiful sun is still shining through, now it's starting to peak. Well, 9:30, it'll peak soon. It's shedding some light into my room. I'm not trying to rhyme 28 in. But it's making me think about life and the nature of man and the boy that hides inside. What is the boy's role in the man? Because you're never going to get rid of that boy. That's the ethereal energy. That's the eternal energy. That's the soul. The soul is eternal. Doesn't have an age. But is innocent, is curious, is free. Unless the man does something to get in the way of that. We are not lions. We are not gazelles. And it's true. You cannot save all of them. Gazelles, any of them. Or the lions. But we are something greater. We are closer to God because we were made in their image, unless you think God's a lion or a gazelle. In which case, have fun. That's not how this works. How do I know? Trust me. I know. We need to rise up. And if you want to live your life, trying to be strong and trying to live your life, can I sum this whole thing up? Sure. Don't be a dick just because you have one. Use it wisely. Have fun. But at the end of the day, oh, kid, Lindsey Graham's still a piece of shit. Oh, kid. Am I good? Cool. Hey, can I eat too? I'm hungry. Okay. Oh, kid. I had to get that in. You're being corny. 30:03 in, my friends. What do you think about this whole thing? This bloody irony of war? I believe this might be the last episode, episode 9. I think this is a good place to end. I don't know what else to say. What else can I say to get it through your head? Maybe it's time for a reset. Maybe it's time for us to reset the way we think, reset our policies, reset, our focus. Everyone go home and focus internal. Stop arguing about land. Stop bombing land. Rebuild, literally and metaphorically speaking, a place for love to find itself in. And stop being an impediment to it. It's possible if we want to. Religious wars always made me kind of snicker inside. Like, think about, did your God rubber stamp this? Is your God really? Because if your God is telling you to kill others to protect you and the God, that's not a God. That's a devil, unless you're misinterpreting it and seeing yourself in it. We're angels or devils, folks. In the net positive or in the net negative, there's nothing else. And if you don't like the idea of angels or devils, we are either catalysts for love or impediments to it. My friends, there's a lot of impediments in this life, much like traffic that you weave in and out of to get somewhere. And whether or not you think you're better than everyone else, or maybe you're just thinking of someone else and trying to get close to them because it's something bad. Who knows? Again, I'm just throwing it out there. Or maybe you're just a fucking dick. Eventually, God will teach you. Karma will get you if you believe in that. If someone else won't. Is it your job to be karma? To essentially be the Han Solo kid of this whole thing. By the way, y'all don't realize what Han Solo was in Star Wars? It was the literal manifestation of karma. He dealt it and he got it. My friends, if Superman didn't get to you, I hope Han Solo did. Because if I have to tell you that Chewie was one big fucking grown dog that no one understood, but somehow they did, I know you could understand what I'm saying. I know you getting the message. There's a better way. It's whether or not you want to get there. And the bloody irony of this whole thing, I'll get there now, 32:33 in. 250 years ago, this year, David, America, took down Goliath. Britain, England, the king. And we said, no kings, never again. And we're celebrating that great, beautiful moment of our liberty and democracy. There's been a lot of ugly things along the way. America, if it's a prism, is very cracked. And just like the one that's on my windowsill that I've dropped a couple times, and actually a little part of the edge is cracked and it fell off, and I'm just pissed. I'm like, this little pyramid looks imperfect. But it reminds me of myself. And it reminds me of America. It reminds me we got work to do. We're not perfect. And that's okay. So long as we don't, get in the way. I'd rather be Clark Kent than Superman. But even if we are and we have to pull our cape out and go and swoop in, then do our job and get the fuck out. We don't have to thump our chests. We don't have to, give them, whoever they are in the valley, the Serengeti, more reason to come after us and make us their gazelle. Because at the end of the day, you can't save all the gazelles. I just stuttered. You can't. Eventually, everyone on the plane goes away. And one day, so will you, and so will I. When we sit in front of our Maker, however you think they appear to you, how you pray to them, or what they look like, what you think, I'll leave a blank space there. They're going to ask you one simple question. What did you leave behind that made the world better than when you found it? If all you can say was rubble surrounding the holy land that I walked on your behalf, God's going to ask you one simple question. Why would you think I want to go back to hell? And you're going to say, what? That's where I sent you. I sent you to hell to learn a lesson. You left it as is and just thought about yourself. Because if there's some place other than where you are and it was better, you think this is heaven? You don't get the fucking point. You didn't understand the lesson, Abraham, and neither did your fucking people. Go back and do it again. Rebuild a temple inside your heart and soul. Not the literal fucking temple, dipshit. And all your fucking friends in the valley need to see the light for themselves. It's not your job to show it to them. I'm the bearer and the creator of the light. Let there be light. Don't you ever forget that. And if I choose to shed my light on you, don't shed blood for me. I don't live like you. I'm the deity. I'm above you. And there's a reason why you're below. Don't ever forget that. You are not gods. Because if you were 36:13 in, you would know better. Now go back to hell and fix it. Because if you keep doing this again, I might have to send someone to help you. Because the first time I did, ... What happens the next time I send someone in 36 in? Are you going to be worrying about a temple or a cross? Let that thought cross your mind. You're almost, I stuttered, out of time. Maybe next time, build a fucking clock and get yourself a clue of what I just told you. A broken clock is right twice a civilization. It told you the beginning, and now it's forecasting your end. What did you do in between, my son? Have fun, because no one's coming to save you. Because you haven't figured out the sad, bloody irony of war. That when you focus on war, you ignore life. And that is the lesson you're supposed to learn. How to live with one another in hell. Because, and here I'll end on this. If you can't find a way to live with one another in hell, how the fuck are you going to do it in heaven? I leave that there. God bless you all. See you again soon.